I wanted to talk about masculine and feminine energies. This is helpful, obviously, if you're a massage therapist or if you want to know a little bit more about crystals and gems. I thought it was important to know because there is confusion or misunderstanding in the West about what the masculine and feminine energies really means. And I think most people have been or know the information because they have seen it somewhere, that you talk with somebody. As you can see on the right hand side, we have what is normally known as the yin and yang symbol. And I think from teachings, and like I said, from other generations, other cultures in religions in the West, or faiths that do not really understand the meaning of the masculine and feminine energies. And it have always been seen as the feminine was the bad or lesser versus the masculine, in which we right now we consider a patriarchal, paramilitary patriarchal religions and culture versus what it actually means. So the meaning is confused here. So to avoid any confusion on the topic of masculinity and femininity energies, we first need to understand the different usages of these two terms. So yogis consider pure consciousness to be masculine, and we'll call it Shiva. And conversely, they consider the embodiment of Shiva, consciousness, and everything in the non-physical world to be feminine. And we call this Shakti. So Shiva and Shakti are an indivisible pair representing universal energy and everything that manifests out of that energy. In the highest meaning of the terms masculine and feminine, Shiva is a masculine, all-knowing God energy that has no form, and Shakti is the feminine embodied form of Shiva. This means everything manifests, including our beautiful Mother Earth, is feminine in a general Shakti sense. And still within this physical world, it's very helpful to break everything down further into feminine and masculine polarities. And like we said, please don't confuse masculine and feminine with a sex or gender per se, but more of a polarity. This is particularly true when working with the chakras because they alternate between the yin and yang. As we were talking of every chakra, remember that we were saying overactive or underactive. And so it doesn't mean that masculine or feminine were either good or bad. It's just a polarity to create balance, of course. So because they alternate between yin and yang energy as they move up the spine. Yang simply refers to masculine energy, which is contractive, strong, and self-contained. This is the kind of energy that seeks to express itself through external goals and outward success. Yin, on the contrary, is feminine energy and is expansive, soft, and order-oriented. Yin seeks to express itself through rich inner experiences and meaningful relationships. You might have heard, about a book called Differences Between Venus and Mars. It was a dating book from a long time ago. Basically, that's the Western kind of approach when they're talking about dating or relationships, for example. But in here, we're talking more about energy. So Yin is feminine energy, is expansive, soft, and over-oriented. And Yin seeks to express itself through rich inner experiences and meaningful relationships. Men and women carry equal amounts of these two types of energy in their spiritual essence. But gender, hormones, socialization, environment, and other personal beliefs start to create inequalities in how these two energies are experienced and expressed in our bodies, especially in Western culture. For this reason, masculine qualities seem to fit men more readily, whether feminine qualities seem to be more easily found in women. The distinction between masculine and feminine energies may seem complicated, but it's actually quite simple. most of us have a really good innate sense of which qualities are yin and which ones are yang. So, for example, if I was to test your intuitive sense of masculine and feminine energies, and if you want, you can do this with a piece of paper, for example. So make sure you get a piece of paper and a pen, and I'm going to tell you some words, and then you're going to write in a column either masculine or feminine. And you will see if you do this with somebody else that unless, especially if you have people from different cultures, that they might put the words in different columns. And it's very interesting to do this exercise to see how we identify words that really we gave them the meaning, right? Words per se have no meaning until we give it to them. So, but for example, if I say strong, there might be more people that put it on the male category or masculine category versus the feminine, but it all depends on the culture. Sensitive, focus, caring, purposeful, intuitive, motivated, easygoing, stable, emotional, powerful, and generous. If you put an M next to all the all the odd number qualities that we mentioned, for example, strong, focused, purposeful, motivated, stable, powerful, then an F to all the other ones, your understanding of masculine and feminine energies is very good. Now the yin and yang is also called the Feng Shui Bagua symbol, and it represents the perfect masculine and feminine balance. Because your chakras pulsate consistently between masculine and feminine energies, we are all innately set up for energetic yin-yang balances. Still, navigating these polarities in a physical body can be challenging sometimes. One thing that really helps is being aware of the places in your body where these opposing energies meet. Those powerful places where adjacent chakras meet are called the chakra nexus points, and the primary chakra nexus points are located between your root and your sacral chakra, which is deep in your pelvis, between your solar plexus and the heart chakra at the bottom of your heart, and between your throat and brow chakra or third eye chakra in the upper palate of your mouth. Now we also have what is called secondary chakra nexus points, and there's two most important ones. One is between your sacral and solar plexus in your lower belly, and then also between your heart and your throat chakra in your higher heart. All of these have, which we're not going to cover in this presentation, but if you take my chakra course, we can explore further. All those nexus points are the absolute opposites of each other, and they also are related to organs and diseases. So if you're interested in knowing more about masculine and feminine energies, I will urge you to purchase my course, which will be coming up this month, which is Chakra 101 for healing or quantum chakra healing. I hope that you enjoyed this lecture where we have investigating deeply into what the chakra is, because what we're trying to learn is how our inner balance and how our motivation, our chakras balance our crystals, and that's what we've been covering this information. I hope that you find it useful. I will see you in the next lesson.